Welcome to your weekly program, BelAhdan, the show that brings Arab American to your living room. We all hear, when we hear Middle East, Palestine, all we hear is about bombing and occupations, and we represent the Palestinians, either as victims or as villains, or a human story that coming out of that part of the world. But today, we're going to talk about a very moving story. I just ran into it. A person that is taking on himself to save his own brother, that he is going through chemotherapy and cancer treatment. And he is here with us today to tell his story, brothers, and the story of his brothers, and the story of somebody is fighting death, but not the death from war, but death from cancer. We have here Walid Issa, and he's a Palestinian peace activist, and he is now in the Twin Cities, is a student studying international students, and he is trying to save his own brother. Welcome to BelAhdan.
Thank you for having me.
Walid. Thank you so much. I know even the name Walid, comes from Walid and the births and all that. It's
exactly.
really. I know it's very hard to talk about, the story of your brothers, but things needs to be done. So take us through how did that start?
My brother, he had cancer 3 years ago. He was a very healthy young man. He's 29 right now. When we found the cancer, he was 26 years old 3 years ago in Bethlehem. And the surgery was very sophisticated, very complicated. And it was very hard. We could not find any surgeons in the Middle East to do the surgery. And there was a very generous doctor from Germany who donated the surgery, his work for free. So my brother flew from Bethlehem, from the West Bank, and did his surgery in Germany. And his surgery took 15 hours. And my brother suffered from that surgery, but he came home and he recovered and everything was okay. And he came back and he finished his CMA, certified accounting manager, and he wanted to complete his life and he just wanted to survive.
So, what part in Palestine?
Bethlehem.
You said Bethlehem, and he's in school, right?
He finished school. He worked
Okay.
as he was working as an accountant.
Yeah. Okay.
And then recently in the summer we found out that the cancer is back in a part of his body, and he needed an immediate surgery. And unfortunately, the Palestinian community, we don't have enough medical support or insurance or anything to cover the surgery or to the surgery in the Palestinian.
Okay.
The Palestinian
Here or Palestine?
in Palestine.
Okay.
And in Israel, they don't have the surgery was very complicated, and the doctors they could not find any place to do it in the Middle East, including Israel.
So he was not denying service because of his nationality or because of his. This is just the service is not there.
I mean, I don't wanna.
Yeah, you don't want to accuse it.
I don't want to accuse anyone. I don't want to judge anyone. There is a good people and there is a bad people everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if the.
But it's very hard to believe that the medical advancement in Israel is it's very advanced.
No, the professor in Israel, when he saw my brother, there's my brother's cancer is in a very sensitive area, and they need more than a doctor, a team of doctors to do the surgery.
Yeah.
And the only places where they have done these surgeries, there's two places. A hospital in Bloomington, Indiana, and the Memorial Hospital in New York.
Oh.
That's according to the professor who saw my brother in Hadassah Hospital in Jerusalem.
Okay.
And that's why he could not. I mean, there's a possibility of doing a similar surgeries, but they did not do a surgery that is sophisticated that much to my brother, like my brother's case.
Sure. So people in Beit Lahem can actually go to Israel's hospital and.
In a certain times, not always. It depends.
Yeah. Okay.
It depends. It's very, very limited, but some of them like.
So you have to get a permission or something.
First, you have to get a permit from the doctor in you have to see a doctor in Bethlehem, and then you go to a certain place and ask for a permission to go to the Israeli areas, and then you go to the Israeli and ask to make an appointment for a doctor, in Israel, and then you go
Sure.
see the doctor.
Might as well leave for another state.
Exactly, you might as well
Yeah,
just
same process.
exactly
Probably.
go to different country.
Yeah. Okay. That's that's a reality there.
Yeah, that's
so
the
you are
reality.
dealing with that.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the problem, the reality over there, that we do not have place to do the surgery, and there is not enough funds and enough expertise,
Resources not
resources
there,
to do my
community.
brother's surgery in the
Yeah.
in the in the Middle East. And this is what happened, and I was very, very stressed out, and I was very. It's very hard because even my family, my mom and my dad overseas, they don't know the details. They know
Yeah.
that my brother is sick, but they don't know that he doesn't have. There is no expertise in the Middle East to do the surgery for him.
And this is something I found it really not intriguing, but interesting that we don't share with the patient or with the family the gravity of.
It's not because we don't want to share with the family. Imagine, I mean, if you live in Bethlehem and you live in the West Bank, and you come and tell parents that your son is sick, he has cancer, and there is no treatment in the Middle East.
Yeah.
There is no family in the Middle East.
Yeah.
No matter how rich you
How
are,
sophisticated.
how rich you are in the Middle East, you cannot send your son or your kids to have a surgery in the U.S. and in your own expenses. There is no
Oh,
way.
I see. It's
Yeah.
I see. It's
So
not
telling them
economic, not
exactly.
culture.
Not culture. It's economics. If I want to tell my parents, my brother has cancer, I have to provide a plan for them. I'm trying to do something to help my brother
But we
survive.
believe in faith and all that. But I understand the dilemma.
I mean, I believe
by being here.
I'm very, very strong believer, and Alhamdulillah, I'm very, very strong believer, and I believe that God has the power over everything. But in
Yeah.
the same time, I believe that you have to do your best.
Exactly.
And I'm doing my best, and the rest is in God's hands. I do not doubt this even 1%. Alhamdulillah, thank God for everything we have, and it's a challenge from God, and I accept it, and I'm gonna do my best to help my brother.
So what are you doing? What have you done? What are you
Yeah.
doing now for?
I'm
break them down.
I'm an international student. I've been living with a very generous American family for 5 years.
Oh.
My American mom and my American dad, and they noticed how stressed I was and how annoying for me just to see my brother is because of was born in a certain place that he's not have access to medical care and all that stuff. So they told me that we should not be stressed, we should not give up, and they helped me create a team called Team Walid, including my American family, where my friends and my family here in the US, where they came up together and created a website where people from around the states, they can donate money to help my brother survive, and they are doing their best to contact doctors in the US to find some doctors who can.
I'm looking at your website here, teamwalid.com, and it's a very nice, soft. It's not really too demanding. I like that.
Yeah.
But let me read a little bit there. Some of the things. Meet my brother Khalid Issa.
Yeah.
Khalid is my older brother, and I love him. He has always been a healthy young man, strong mentally and physically. He graduated from BelAhdan University in 2007 with a degree in accounting because his health has always been important for frequent. Okay, in 2009 he began feeling. So that's just telling the story of your brother, and I can see here he is a handsome young man, and but you have access here where people can log in, answer questions. All you need to know about here, people can log in and educate themselves, and also if they need to help, they can help.
Yeah, and my friend, they asked me, do you want to help, and this is give space for my family and my friends and for the people who are trying to help, and I was very, very inspiring. This is very inspiring for me because, there is. Beside the people that they helped me create the website and stand for me looking for doctors and how can we help my brother and do this in a good manner. Also the people who donated money, when I looked at the names and I see a kid, looking at his face. Never heard of him from Ireland donating $20, or someone from Tallahassee, Florida, or someone from Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
So it was very inspiring to see people motivated to help, And I'm hoping that my community also would help more,
You doing a fundraising on Mediterranean cruise?
Yes, I want to thank the Mediterranean Cruise Cafe for opening their house and for providing the food to do a fundraising for my brother. I really appreciate it.
What day would that be?
That will be in the 17th of February.
And so if you are, what is it, Thursday or Saturday?
It's going to be Sunday from 3 to 6.
Thursday. So if you have time, it's a wonderful place if you can. Let me look at the team itself.
Yeah.
Just tell us who are those people. Ed Del Moro?
Yeah.
Del Moro? Who, is this a professor of?
No, Ed Del Moro, he's a very good friend of mine. I met him through work, and we became very, very good friends.
Okay, so that's co-workers.
And he's not co-worker. He came to my work.
Oh, I see.
And he's a very inspiring person. He's very.
Yeah.
I look up to him. He's a very good man, and he's very inspiring. And
it's interesting, you know. This is probably the story we need to tell back home to your family, because also all they hear about America is bombing and invasion and
this is really I wanted to do this, and I wanted to share the story because there is good people in the Middle East and there is good people in America, and we have to find a way where we can connect the good people around the world together.
This is really the best way of doing it.
And I hope I will succeed in showing my family that there is good people who care about them, and succeed in sharing my story with my American family.
Majid Khabour?
Majid Khabour.
Yeah, so who is she?
She's a friend of mine. I met her in school here, and we became very good friends.
Okay, Alana Spots?
Elena Spots.
Alana Spots?
Yeah, she's my American sister.
Okay, thank you. Rana Kamal?
Rana Kamal, she's a very good friend of mine.
Okay, we have good friends here.
Yeah, I mean, they are very good friends, and thank God for having them around me.
Mark Resk.
Mark Resk.
Who is works in a lab, chemist, so he knows what.
He just got accepted in the dentistry school, which is
wonderful.
Very good.
And Kate Peer.
She's my American mom.
Oh wow! And Stephen Peer, that's probably the father.
Yeah, he's my American dad.
Okay, wonderful people. Mark Spot,
he's my brother-in-law.
Okay,
my brother.
And Rosine Johnson.
Yeah, she's a very good friend of mine.
Okay. So that's a very good friend. That's special.
Yeah.
Than just a friend.
They're all very good friends.
Okay.
They are very.
So the team is about what, 7, 8 here?
And there's few more there.
Yeah, few more. Yeah. So at least people can you personalize the story.
Yeah, they
I know it's a tragedy of your brother, but there is a human element to it.
Yeah, but exactly. There's a human element, and they want me to do this. They want to put their faces in the website.
Yes.
Because they are very credited, and people know them in the community, and there is no doubt that this money is going to go to anywhere just to help a very tragic
case. How about the community itself? We're getting bigger, and I have this problem before. When we have issues, we cannot pull out from community resources. I mean, it seems like everybody's busy, everybody thinks so. So what's your response you get from the community at large, Arab, Muslim community, Palestinian community?
Yeah, I mean, they are when you talk to them at a personal level, they promise you, they want to help, you know. Mm-hmm. But I don't think there is the following up, you know.
Yeah.
And there is.
It's not something we are, where you grow up with. I mean, we rely heavily on.
Yeah, but even there is some people reached me and asked me, and they were trying to help. Like, for example, Khalid's accountant, Abu Omar.
Yeah.
He really tried to help me, and he's really very, very generous with time, and he is trying to do his best to raise some money.
Tell us a little bit about your relationship with your brother. How big is your family back home?
I have 5 sisters and 3 brothers.
Okay.
I'm the youngest in my family.
Uh-huh.
And I finished, I'm very close to my brother. I'm the one after him, so he's my older brother. So he's the one who used to pick on me. He's the one who used to give me a hard time. And I cannot even imagine my childhood without my brother. I cannot even imagine anything. When I think about the Middle East or my back home, the first thing come to my mind is, sharing a sandwich with my brother or stealing a fries from his plate. I mean, I came from a big family, and my favorite shirts the shirts that they passed me from my older brother.
Of course. So he helped you out when you're growing up. Now it's your turn.
Yeah, I mean, he even always, he's always supportive. He's always, waiting for me in school in the morning to walk together to school. After school, we have to wait for each other and walk home together. Especially, we used to go to a school and it's not safe to walk sometimes in Bethlehem. So we always encourage us, my family, to walk together. And these little talks I have with my brother in the way from home, from school. And all these memories come to my mind when I see his face or see the website. I mean, I have a very good friend. He's
Well,
my older
brothers,
brother.
the relationship is different than with your parents, with
Yeah,
your
he's
sister.
not only my brother. He's my friend.
Yeah.
He's everything. You know.
So, I mean, it seems like there is a long way to go. You know, and the goal of fundraising is what? I mean,
50,000.
how much it's going to cost and all that. Estimate about 50,000.
Yeah, that's just the basics.
The basic, of course, yeah. And then it's going to take more than that, you
Yeah.
know, logistic and
Yeah.
lounging and all that.
Yeah.
So do you have, beside the money part, what are the other resources that you want to pull out to?
I mean, before we get to there, I want to thank my NSL family in Washington, D.C. too. I was working with, I was in a program this summer in Washington, D.C. and they tried to help me and they adopted the program, I mean the fundraising, and they published it in their website. And thank them so much for that. And we're trying to contact doctors and trying to contact different organizations. And there is people in the fundraising team that they're trying to talk to different organizations and see what we can do. And it's not only the money, also we hopefully that we can get to different organizations, or that they will actually donate their time, or doctors donate their time.
Well, you know, it seems like you are on the right track, and it's a very moving story, and I wish you all the best. You know.
Thank you so much. I really want to thank you, Ahmed.
No, thank you, Walid. You're always welcome. And now, when we talk about Palestinians saving the country, saving warriors, now this is very specific.
Yeah.
This is very personal. You have a face on it.
Yeah.
And I think it's a great story, and I wish you well. And here Khalid Adil Issa, and we have Walid Issa here telling his own brother story about saving your brother, doing your best, making sure you haven't turned any. There's no stone left to turn to find the help you needed. And if you need any help, check their website, and the website teamwalid.com, and get any information you want. But before we end this, and last Friday, it was January 11th. So this is the 11th Guantanamo University, the University of Guantanamo. And I know Obama came on the premises that he's going to close Guantanamo. He doesn't even mention it anymore. And by the way, I think Obama is the only Nobel Peace Prize person that has a killing list. It's an amazing. I will pick it and I will demand that the Nobel Peace Prize will be withdrawn and taken away from some people. So I went to cover a protest and a rally in downtown Minneapolis. A group of peace lover and Minnesota peace group, like Women Against Military Madness and all that. They gathered in downtown Minneapolis Plaza, and they protested the 11th anniversary of Guantanamo. So enjoy that peace. We'll see you next week. Assalamu alaikum, and God bless you all. On a cloudy Friday afternoon in downtown Minneapolis, a group of clear-conscious men and women gather inside Hennepin Government Center to unveil the ugly face of torture.
And get those signed, especially the torture is only wrong ones. The Academy Award.
We're here we're all concerned about the 166 men that have been tortured in the name of our country for 11 years.
Today, because it's 11 years that Guantanamo was opened on January 11th. They are still holding 166 detainees. 55 of those detainees have actually been cleared for release under Bush.
We have trouble with being too oriented towards war and not enough with preventive things in our society, like peace initiatives or even having a peace department.
We're here today, and myself in particular, to protest our various torture policies with the CIA.
War has always been around, and so people kind of tolerate it, but getting into torture was stepping over the line of what's really acceptable, and it's an international crime.
Speaking out, and of course we're trying to be in solidarity by marching in orange Guantanamo suits today through the skyways. We find most people don't even know.
I don't like these movies coming out to kind of propagandize the nation to accept this kind of behavior.
Served in the Army, and I know a little bit in that area. And my thoughts, and through other people.
Its national release tonight, Zero Dark 30, portrays torture as being effective and having led to bin Laden. It's completely false. We have 3 senators who are challenging the movie directors for making up a story. But of course, people will go to this movie because it's nominated for Oscars.
It's just not the right way to go, and it's just going to be a perpetual war on people because we just don't care about their rights. If we perceive they're our enemy in any capacity, good luck, indefinite detention.
So what's your program today of protest? This is not it. This is
no, it's a couple of parts. We've been trying to get number now. We're going to stamp those and mail them. We are also then going to read a poem about, it's called The Man Under the Hood.
Bringing back into the light every CIA black site, because right now there's a man under that hood. There's a brother breathing prayers of desperation, striking hunger so hard that his ribs are about to crack. There's a man under that hood in Afghanistan, Guantanamo, and Iraq. His rights have been dismissed with the label terrorist. And just for saying this, they'll probably put my name on a list.
Hey American, looks like here we go again.